Good evening, vinyl community. Grecian Thunder here, Andreas, to you uninitiated. Uh, and I'm here tonight to answer Jonas's 3 questions that he asked, and they're really good. The last one, I'm going to probably make a multiple part thing too, but I did pick the first. Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, folks. Okay. The first question was pick 3 records that you would hand down to um, a younger person, like a kid, um, that would represent yourself. And it didn't take me too long to choose these records because sometimes I overanalyze things, and what I listen to versus what a child is prepared for. Uh, at the age of like say 4, 7, you know, 3, which are the 3 kids that are. I'm actually going to show their pictures here in a bit, but very special kids to me. My cousin's 2 girls, and then one of my best friend's son. Um, and yeah, so what I was thinking is like, yeah, I mean, like a lot of the stuff I listen to is not really for kids' ears. You know what I mean? Like, obviously I like the harder stuff. It's a little harder to listen to for a kid. I mean, kids like simple melodies, and for the most part, there are some, there are a few exceptions. Derek. I mean, when you have music in your home, when you have musicians in your home, uh, I think your ears are trained differently than if, say, your parents just have a few CDs or a couple records. My mom had a pretty extensive collection, so I was fortunate in that respect. She, of course, like, you know, kind of the complete opposite of what I like now. But that's the second question. But the first question, 3 records that you would hand down. The first one I chose was Betty Davis's first record. Um, Out of all my like soul and funk that I have right now, there's some nastiness on here, but kids aren't going to understand that. But the music is good, and the singing is good, and sometimes it gets a little like kind of funny. You know what I mean? Like so. It was either this or James Brown, but I chose Betty Davis for the girls. Sydney and Piper are their names, but um, yeah. So little bit of soul, and then I chose Can Future Days, um, and these last 2 really are just starting points. Like, well, all 3 of them actually. So I would say starting points, and if in my will or say something befell me that I had to get rid of my records, I would just give these records to those kids and say, start here. Okay, do your research, find out where the members of this band went, find out who they played with, find out, um, you know, the scene was like. Do your research, know your roots, know your past, um, and then go from there, and then you'll find wondrous treasures, kind of like I have over the years. Like just from looking into bands and finding out what influenced them. Always dig back. Um, and then finally, Devo. Are We Not Men? We Are Devo. Their first record. I think Devo makes like Mark Mothersbaugh, who is the leader of Devo, or at least the most popular member. Did music for a lot of cartoons and kids movies and things like that. So um, that's why I chose Devo, because their music is got that weird kind of like burp, 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 like it's synthesized, so it has kind of a modern feel to it. So the kids would latch onto that. And then yeah, again, starting point. Start with Devo, dig back, go forward, find out who was influenced by Devo. I mean, of course, these kids are gonna know, man. If they choose, you know, if they're given the right tools to walk the path, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, a majority of kids are into the stuff that's shoved down their throats. So until they actually their mind matures a little bit more to where they can start being more of a shepherd and not a sheep. So those were for the kids. These represent my mom. Um, First, it's one I just got actually, and I got it because of her, and I also love the record. But Simon and Garfunkel, "Sounds of Silence," and Mom's really into folk. Like she likes Joan Baez and Simon and Garfunkel, um, Bob Dylan. You know, you name it, she's loving it. This is the rockier side of my mom. Doors. I chose 13. It's all the hits. Um, she's a little bit of a rocker, but she was more of like that flower child kind of hippie. So um, definitely represents her. And then finally, she had a lot of Jethro Tull, but she has a lot of Jethro Tull, I should say. But I chose, the only Jethro Tull album I have is Aqualung at this time. And yeah, she was way into Jethro Tull, which is cool. Because real rockin' bits with that flute. So that's my mom, kind of. I don't know how much she listens to music these days, but yeah. So that represents her. And then finally, this is the hardest question I think I've ever seen. Thanks, Jonas. Thank you. But 3 records that represent members of the vinyl community. And this is what I was talking about at the beginning about making this more of a multi-part series. Because I'd like to pick out a record that represents every single person that I watch. And I watch a lot. So, yeah, I'm going to start with these 3 guys. I'm going to start with Sonic Mainliner, my namesake, or am I his? Yeah, I think he's older than me by a couple of years. So, I chose the High Rise Live record mainly because he introduced it to me, and he's really into like out there stuff. This isn't really that out there, but it freaking rocks just like him, and it's given me a good starting point. Kind of like what I did with the kids, I'm his child, Same goes for these other 2 records. Like, I'm your child, vinyl community. So yeah, this is a great live record. You can get it on eBay. I got this for like $9.99, man. It was like crazy, and I think the guy still has more. It might even be somebody who was involved with Squealer, the label it's on. So, yeah, pick that up if you like that crazy, loud Japanese pseudo psychedelic stuff. And the vocals are really mellow too. It's kind of that Morrissey type, mellow vocals. But yeah, the live record, and I love the other record too. Thank you so much, Andreas. The second person I picked was Fred, Big Star 1000. And I don't know how he's going to take this, but I chose the Vashti Bunyan album, Just Another Diamond Day, to represent Fred to me, because I think Fred is, Big Star 1000, to you uninitiated, is one of our more sophisticated members. I've only seen him like really, I'm not saying he's unemotional, but like that when he showed his worst record a while back, when I asked people to show me their worst record. I've never seen him like emote that way in a video. I mean, laughing. I don't know. He laughs. I'm not saying he doesn't, but like he laughs so much in that video. It's just great to see. But like most of the time, he's really concise. He words the words in his videos. I mean, although English is his second language, so beautiful, and just like this record. And this record to me is sophisticated, and beautiful and subtle. And but there, I mean, okay. Again, don't take this the wrong way. There is a touch of evil in this record, and I don't know if it's the Andrew Loog Oldham connection, because I mean the whole Stones thing, but I think there's a touch of evil inside of Big Star 1000. Not, I mean, not seriously, but like, I mean, he's got an edge to him, and it's a beautiful one. And this record to me, I mean, and as far as what I have in my collection now, I mean, his collection is of course much more vast, but this represents Fred. And then finally, I chose Derek for this round. And the record I chose was, did I have that upside down? No. It's the Mono triple LP. It's a collection of their EPs from 2000 to 2007. And Derek is, I mean, he's one of the gurus, obviously, and he to me, I mean, between him, Jeff, and Fred, so far, there could be more out there, of course. Philosophers like Aristotle, Plato, Nietzsche, whatever you want to say, but like his whole deep listening concept, his whole, I mean, and not that I haven't deeply listened to records before, but like he has consistently reminded me what it is to just put a record on and just absorb it, And this record it takes that, It's really atmospheric, and you just got to sit there and listen to it. And I haven't even gotten through the whole damn thing yet. I've only listened to 2 out of the 3. It's just, there's not enough time in the day for me, especially at the rate I'm purchasing these damn records. But Derek is, yeah, deep listening. Derek equals deep listening to me. He takes his time. He's patient. And there's other records that could represent all of these guys too. I mean, because nobody's one-sided like this. So, but yeah, the Mono Japanese ambient band to me represents Derek because of the deep listening aspect and that concept that should spread to everybody here, because it's a good philosophy, especially if you're, I mean, a lot of us are younger. I'm not excluding myself, but like, I mean, like, we have some people that are under, hell, even under 18 within the vinyl community, and I remember what it was like. It was still close enough for me to be like, oh god, the angst and the all the emotions that are like bubbling, boiling, and just to take a record like this Mono record and just throw all that shit away and just kind of zone out and just like listen to the record and meditate. It's good for the soul just to clear things up, get all the crap out, and take in some good music. So those are my answers. Jesus, it's almost 14 minutes. I'll see you guys next time. I've gotten a few records, but I want to listen to them first before I show them to you. And I love you, Jonas. Great questions, man.